Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Attorney. I'm your host, Alex Alexander with Client Focus Media. I'm really excited to bring Jonathan Breeden from Breeden Law Firm. Protect your family and conquer life's challenges. You can find him online at breedenfirm.com. Welcome, Jonathan. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. It's great to talk to you, Alex. I know we've tried to catch up a couple times before, and it's not worked out for our schedules, but it's good. It's good to get to talk to you.
I'm super excited to have you, brother. So we talked a little bit about it before we came on camera, and I think I'd like for people to understand a little bit more about Jonathan Breeden. Obviously you own and founded the Breeden Law Firm. What brought you here? What brought you to becoming the lawyer you are today?
It's a long story, probably not as interested in some other ones, but I really got interested in the law when I took a ninth grade civics class, which is required here in North Carolina. And we read the Federalist Papers, and we started learning about Alexander Hamilton before there was a famous play, and Thomas Jefferson and all of those great founders. And I was just fascinated by their ideas and how they created a country, out of nothing, when it's got away from the British, and sort of the foundation of all law in America really is still English common law. And it really does go back to the Federalist Papers and the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. And so that was what sort of piqued my interest in going into law. And I just sort of kept following it from there on.
So for you, everybody usually have, they typically have some sort of a practice they stick to, maybe one or two or three. What is your primary focus at Breeden Law Office?
Our primary focus is family law. We do a lot of divorces, child custody, adoptions, child support, property distribution, alimony, post-separation support, anything that deals with the family. We do guardianships, we do wills. So if it involves your family, then we can probably help you. I would say that 85% of our work is divorces and child custody.
So have you seen a little bit of a change in how your particular field works these days? Is there less true litigation and more working things out together prior? Or tell me about what would happen with me if I came to you, and I am not needing your services. I'm a happily married man, but if I came to you like, look, things are horrible. I need to know what to do. How would you kind of guide me?
Well, the first thing we would do is we'd sit down and sort of figure out, sort of the facts, right? How long you've been married? Do you have any children? What's your income? What are your assets? What are your debts? Figure out kind of what your goals are. Our goal is to try to get you to whatever your goal is so that you can be the hero of your life story. And then we would take all of those facts and then we would start to develop a strategy as to what we think might be a reasonable outcome that protects your interest, your rights to be a parent with your child, protects your financial interests to where you can afford to live on your own away from your partner, or be able to not have to pay so much money that you can't live on your own away from your partner. And we would start to just help you move on to the next phase of life. Divorce is by far one of the most stressful things you'll ever go through. It's right up there with the death of the parent and the death of a child. And everybody's emotional, and even people that aren't emotional are emotional in divorce. And so we're trying to help you manage the emotions, stick to the facts, and come up with the best strategy that protects your rights.
I have to give it to you because obviously, we represent a few attorneys, and knowing that that particular field of practice can be the most challenging emotionally for everyone, including you. So I have to say that I'm not going to ask you. I know that you're a God-fearing man, and by the way, thank you for that. Is there a little bit of that involved in what you do in helping you cope with all the negativity that comes around you?
Yes, you have to rely on your faith and to help you deal with this and help you process the emotions of the people that are coming into your office that you're having to try to help. You have to recognize them, they're doing the best they can do. You know what I mean? And it may not be great decisions, and they may have gotten themselves in a real mess, but they truly are, given their background, their substance abuse issues, their lack of education, that kind of stuff, often doing the best they can do in the current situation they're in. Can they be better? Yes, but you have to recognize that hindsight's not 2020. We can't relive the past, and we have to get them focused on the future and what their future looks like so that they can go back to being the hero of their life story.
Hey, Jonathan, first of all, thank you very much for being on the show today. It's been a pleasure to have you. And I want to thank everyone out there for tuning into this episode of Ask the Attorney. But before we go, I want to challenge any and everyone. If you are anywhere near Mr. Breeden, I feel like if you have these questions, and I know people have questions all the time, I want you to reach out to him. I want you to go to breedenfirm.com, contact Jonathan Breeden. That's the Breeden Law Firm. So he can help guide you in the best path possible. Do something good for yourself and do something good for others.